Welcome to the Brown Girls Do Network live series podcast. I am Vanessa Williamson, and today we have the honor of hosting the remarkable Kea Pitman as our special guest. With almost 3 decades of experience as a dedicated licensed practical nurse, entrepreneur, and advocate for inclusive wellness, Keva brings a wealth of knowledge and passion to our discussion. As the founder of KP Creates and Infinite Serenity Services, she has transformed her commitment to holistic care and self-care into thriving businesses that empower individuals to prioritize their well-being. Join us as we delve into Keva's journey and insights on health, wellness, and the importance of self-care in our everyday lives. Let's give a warm welcome to Ms. Kea Pitman as we talk about the top 10 tips in post-op recovery. Hey, how y'all doing today? I am Vanessa Williamson, the host of the Brown Girls Do Network live series podcast. Today, oh my goodness, I cannot believe we are actually going to be talking about this, and I'm excited to be talking about this. The top 10 tips in post-op recovery. I'm going to bring Miss Kea Pitman on, but before I do that, I have to talk a little bit about Brown Girls Do Network. Welcome to our platform, Brown Girls Do Network. We are Black and brown women celebrating, promoting, encouraging, and pushing each other in business. And listen, we are having a great time. And as usual, if you are interested in joining Brown Girls Do Network, because hey, listen, we have a lot of fun over here. I keep telling y'all that. Please DM us, send me a message. Again, I'm Vanessa Williamson, and we would love to chat and have you join us and see if we're even the network for you. So let's go on over and transition to our conversation that we will start to talk with Miss Kea Pitman, and let's bring her to the stage. Hey, sis, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I am good. Listen, before we got on here, right? I said to Keva, I said, I think I'm gonna go get a glass of wine. I did that, and I don't think that was a good idea.
No.
No, I don't think that's a good idea because I noticed, I'm the producer, I'm the editor, I'm everything over here. And I noticed I hit the thank you for watching button, and I was supposed to hit the intro button, and I'm like, see, this is why I don't need to be drinking wine with this situation.
Oh, you just sip slow. That's all.
Okay, I'll just sip slow.
Just sip slow.
How are you feeling right now?
Right now, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm, recovering from a sinus infection, so you hear the nasally sound, but I'm feeling pretty good.
Okay, well, you sound great. You sound great. Well, let's jump into our conversation. We have brown girls jumping into the chat, all on Instagram. Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, Carmen, how you doing? Oh, wow, yes. Hey, Shelby. Let's go ahead and get into this conversation. And I'm going to ask you the question that I ask every guest at the beginning of every show. How was your day, and what have you done today to make the world a better place?
Well, my day was pretty good today. I was off for 2 days, so coming back to work after feeling ill, it was a slow start. Everything was cool and breezy. I didn't have to get hostile with my provider, but it was pretty good. I had a good day.
And what have you done today to make the world a better place?
What have I done to make the world a better place? I was kind to everyone that I met today. I was kind. I met them with a smile. I helped them to smile, even though they may not have been feeling well. So
that part, okay? A smile goes a long way. Yes, it does. Hey, Miss Kim. Miss Kim just jumped in here as well. Let's go ahead and transition to our next topic. Keva, we know each other because we're both members of Brown Girls Do Network, and from there, we transitioned actually to working in the same clinic, which you don't know how excited I am to have you in the same space as I am.
And I'm
right?
excited too. Definitely excited too.
Oh my goodness. You are originally from, you live here. We're both here in Hudson Valley. Where are you
Yes.
originally from?
I'm originally from Middletown. I was born in Middletown and I was there up until I was like in the third grade. And
Mhm.
then I moved to Newburgh with my mom.
Okay. All righty.
Mhm.
And how has Newburgh been for you? How many years have you been here in Newburgh?
Well, about I'd say about 40 years.
40
Been here.
years.
Yes, I've been here
Okay.
about 40 years. And
Okay.
Newburgh has been, it was different, moving from Middletown to Newburgh because my mom moved to one of the roughest blocks in the city of Newburgh back in the day. But it gave me my edge, and it kept me honest. I say that.
Okay. All right. It kept you honest. All right.
Yeah.
How do I'm not from this area. I'm originally
Mm-hmm.
from New Jersey.
Okay.
Even though we have West Point here, and that
Mm-hmm.
brings a lot of people into you all's community. How do you
Yes.
feel about that?
I mean, I think it's good. I think it's good to have different people. If you're not able to travel, you get to meet different people from different places.
Hmm. Do
And
you
that
think it's
part,
weird that we're moving into you all's community? Because you've been here for forever. I thought it was weird when people would move to Irvington, New Jersey. I would be like, why? Why would you do that?
I mean, I think it's good because it causes the people who are originally from here to stay ahead of the game, to step up. So yeah,
Mm.
I think it's good.
Okay. All right. Let's talk a little bit also about your credentials and
Hmm.
what actually brings you the for me to have you on this platform talking about this conversation today, because
Okay.
we're going to be talking about the top 10 tips
Hmm.
in post-op surgery, right? But in
Hmm.
post-op recovery.
Yeah,
And reconstructive surgery is big business these days.
it is.
So can you tell our audience more about your credentials, your background that makes you the person to speak to about this topic today?
Well, as you said, I have been a licensed practical nurse for 30 years. And I became a massage therapist because I wanted to serve in a different manner, in a different setting. And in that, I had a lot of people coming to me asking me if I could do their lymphatic massages. And I was like, okay, sure, after they had surgery. But it was not the lymphatic massage that I learned in school at all. So it took a lot of research for me to really get the gist of what was happening, because I would have people coming from Miami after having surgery wanting me to forcefully massage on them. And I'm like, that's contrary to healing. I'm saying you just had all this trauma. I'm not supposed to do that. So I started researching. I started researching what was going on in the body altering aesthetic industry. And it was like, you know,
So I'm going to, you mentioned lymphatic massages.
hmm
So Kiva is the owner of Infinite Serenity Services. And I do want you to tell our audience what, because listen, we don't know what this means. However, I do want
no,
you to tell them, and I'm just going to ask you, you're a massage therapist, right?
yes.
What is the appropriate name? Is it massage therapist?
It is massage therapist. Masseuse is frowned
Okay.
upon because it has a very negative connotation.
Okay.
Um, so when I went to massage therapy school, that's what we were taught, that you want to be, called a massage therapist, not a
Okay.
masseuse.
Not a masseuse. Y'all got
Yes.
it? So you call your person a massage therapist. You're not going to see your masseuse. Why is a masseuse a negative? Because I have my own theory about why that's a negative connotation.
Well, in history, I guess that there were other things besides massage going on with masseuses.
Okay, that's what I
So,
thought. All right.
yeah,
All right.
yeah, Yeah.
When did you go to massage therapy school? Now, what was first? What came first, the chicken or the egg, the LPN or the massage
Oh,
therapy school?
the LPN. I became a massage therapist in 2000, and I started massage therapy school in 2018, and I finished 2019. So,
It's only a year?
well, the school that I went to, it was like a school year. I went from July to I finished in March, less than a school
Okay.
year then. Yeah. They had different programs, and I chose to do the full-time program so I could get it
Mhm.
done and over with. And I chose that because it's a felony to practice massage therapy in New York State without a license. So even though as a nurse I have the license to touch, I wouldn't be able to advertise massage therapy without that
Okay.
license. So that's what prompted me to go to school to get the license.
To get the license. Was it
Yes.
difficult, and how and do you have to have all right, I'm not a LPN, I'm not a
Hmm.
RN,
Hmm.
any of that. Can anyone go, or do you have to have certain credentials to
You
be a
just you
massage
just need
therapist?
to have a high school diploma. You do have to have a high school diploma. They cover courses such as anatomy and physiology,
Mhm.
kinesiology, and the different modalities of massage therapy. So,
Okay.
yeah, you want to at least be a graduate of high school or have your high school diploma.
Okay. All right. Or
Hmm.
GED,
Or GED. Yes.
right? Because if you have a GED and you want to have a career as a massage therapist,
Yes.
that is definitely, I would think, is a good thing.
Yes.
Definitely.
And they do have some programs in certain colleges, but I just wanted the license. You know,
You just
you
wanted the
just I
license.
just wanted the
Okay.
license to make me legal. Yes.
Okay. All right. What is lymphatic massage? Because before you even answer, I don't know
Okay.
what that is. I know, and I'm sure a lot of our audience have
Mhm.
most likely been to a massage therapist. And
Mhm.
I know about deep tissue massage, where
Mhm.
you leave out feeling worse than you did when you went in, you're feeling pain. Okay.
Right.
And then they have like the hot stone massage. It's
Mhm.
all of these different beautiful names that they have. And to me, and they have the whatever they have all these different massages, but you said lymphatic massage. What is that?
So lymphatic massage is a type of massage that was created to stimulate the lymphatic system. And it's also used to treat lymphedema and lipedema. So that's why it was totally different when you're thinking of massaging someone after surgery.
Mm,
Lymphatic massage is a very light and rhythmic modality. It's very light and rhythmic. It's
okay.
your like feather touches almost.
Okay. All right. You have your own massage therapy studio.
Yes.
In Brown Girls Do Network, we are women that we are multi-layered, right? We
Hmm.
all do more than one thing. You
Yes.
are an LPN during the day. You
Hmm.
have your massage therapy studio in the evenings and weekends.
Hmm.
As a woman of color, what has been the biggest hurdles you faced when you first started your business as a woman of color?
Um, I don't even really know how to answer that because I feel like I knew when I went to school that I wanted to have my own studio. So I don't think I even looked at any hurdles. I knew
Okay.
I found out what I had to do and I went for it. So when I finished school, I went and I worked in a massage studio in White Plains because I've never owned a studio before. So it was like an internship. I was learning back office things, managing things. And
Mhm.
that's how I started to really get my foot in the door. The hurdles that I did face were actually in school, in school, because
Okay.
I think I thought that massage therapy school was going to be rainbows and unicorns, and I was faced with a lot from the instructors, being a Black woman, being educated. And I didn't realize, that, I'm just trying to learn, but there was a lot of, how do you say, they gave me a hard time. They gave me a hard time because a lot of the students knew that I was a nurse. So they would ask me questions about anatomy and physiology, because
Mm-hmm.
when you learn it, it's not always easy to learn anatomy and physiology and how to break it down into layman's terms so a person can understand it and apply it. So the
Mm.
instructors had a problem with that. So that's where I faced a
Mm.
lot of hurdles, a lot.
Okay. Do you still talk to those instructors, or did you make any friends with any of the instructors?
No, I mean, I wasn't there for friendship. I was
Mhm.
respectful. There were a few that were, that were kind and helpful, taught me what I needed to know. I made friends with a few students who I still, who they massage me. They're the
Mhm.
only there's two ladies that I would only go to massage me. So
Okay. Where's the massage therapy school located at? Where'd you say, in White Plains?
the school was located in Mount Kisco, but it has since closed.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you know
Finger
why?
there was a lot of back office things going on. It was a satellite school that I went to for Finger Lake
Mhm.
School of Massage that was in, excuse me, Ithaca, New York. So
Okay, that's
my
the Finger Lakes district. Yeah.
yeah, so
Okay.
the school that I went to was a satellite school in Mount Kisco, New York. So I think they had one more class after I finished,
Mhm.
and then they wound up closing. Let me see, I finished May. So in October of that year, they closed.
Wow. And your
Wow.
license was still valid. They
Yes,
could not
because I
rescind your
finished.
license.
No, so everyone who was already enrolled, they lost their
Mhm.
accreditation. That's what happened. They lost the
That's what I was
accreditation.
wondering. Yeah.
Yeah,
And thank God they lost their accreditation after you graduated,
absolutely.
because other than that, you'd have been
Absolutely.
really pissed because you'd have had to start all over.
All over again. Yes.
And accreditation is huge. If you are going to any school for a
Mm-hmm.
certificate, even a university, right, for a certain
Yeah.
degree, that school has to be accredited. And you want to make sure they are accredited for whatever the program that you're going for, or you will be very upset because you still owe the bill, but you don't
Yep.
have the credentials, the legitimate credentials for it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. With your location,
Mm-hmm.
Infinite Serenity Services,
Mm-hmm.
everyone knows that, listen, I go on your social media and I take your stuff. Okay. I'm a social media thief. Okay. I will take your stuff and use it.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled this video off of your social media and I was like, what is this? And I said, we need to talk about this. So
Okay.
I'm like, okay, in audience, if you have any questions, please chime in,
Okay.
because I'm like, what is this? Okay, that's grounds for getting your loans paid. Oh, that's right. Okay, in reference to if your school closes and
Mm-hmm.
it's because due to their accreditation, your loans will be forgiven. I did
Well,
have that happen.
they didn't
Well,
forgive
you
mine yet.
yeah, gone. Yeah, it was gone. All right. But yeah, this right here. Okay, we're
Okay.
gonna let me go ahead and pull this in. Where we at here? Let me see this why I shouldn't be drinking. So I'm wondering, Kiva, what is this?
So those are instruments. IASTM is instrument assisted soft tissue mobilization.
Okay,
So
and I'm gonna go ahead. Go ahead and talk.
so in order to, in your body you have different layers of tissue. So you can get to different depths with that one there. I can reach down into the fascia without pressure. It'll stimulate the fascia, it'll stimulate muscle. And the smooth one that looks like a blade is like a gua sha tool. And it you can scrape with it. Scrape areas. That one, I use that one on you.
What is it? I'm
That
receiving the
that
service. I don't know.
it's just a roller. It's just a roller. You can roll it on your face, and that's like a gua sha. It's just metal, same as a scraper.
Oh, so this is for facials.
That's for facial. And you can use it on different areas of your body, if you have tight muscles, after cupping or, to stretch the tissue. But the one with the little fingers, that one is really to get down deep into the fascia and
What
the
is
muscle tissue.
fascia? What is that? The muscle tissue?
No, fascia is like, when you clean chicken. This is the best way to describe it. The
Please, thank you.
slimy stuff.
Uh-huh.
We have fascia wrapped over everything. There's different types of fascia.
In between the skin and the
In
muscle.
between the skin and the muscle, around your organs, around your arteries and veins. There's superficial fascia, deep fascia, everywhere. So let's just say you have some tight fascia in your ankle. It tightens up and it could cause your muscles to tighten up and it could cause your back to hurt. So, it's like a domino effect. The fascia is tight.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. And this is why you need a licensed massage therapist to know what they're
Yes.
talking about. So here is the thing. I've had multiple massages from just different places.
Mm-hmm.
I must say, when you massage me, I literally come out of your spa, feel like I am floating on air.
Oh, good.
I'm not in pain. I feel loose and limber.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're doing the massage, I'm like, this don't seem like it's doing much. However, I'm like, I don't know what she just did, but feeling like a rubber band when I'm leaving there. And it feels so good. And the atmosphere is just beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
I am going to play this commercial in reference to your spa service. We're going to talk a little bit about this situation that you're doing here. And then we're going to get into the top 10, tips for post-op. All right?
Okay.
Here we go.
Yes.
This is not your typical massage therapy session. As you can see, we got bright lights going on here. Consultation and communication is key during every session. My client had a total knee replacement done 6 weeks prior and was instructed by her surgeon and physical therapist to get massages done to decrease swelling. Here you see me warming up her tissues, using some massage oils, and applying silicone cups. I explain every step what I'm going to do as not to re-injure the area. Cupping helps to increase blood flow to the affected area. This delivers oxygen and nutrients to the tissues. Oxygenated blood and nutrients are great for healing. Cupping also aids in the removal of excess fluid and waste products, softening scar tissue, and releasing fascia. The combination of massage and cupping stimulates the body's natural pain-relieving mechanisms, and all of this provides relief of the post-operative discomfort and pain.
Keva.
Yes.
You do cupping also.
Yes. I do a lot of things.
Yes, you do a lot of things. If your massage therapist is not talking to you and explaining to you what's going on, you need to get a new massage therapist. Can you please tell us about cupping? I mean, go down the list, please. of your services? I mean, I know it's a lot, but your top services.
Okay, so I offer 3 different services, which I call sessions. The first one is Serenity sessions, and that's geared to relaxation. That's where you'll get your spa services like facial, a non-invasive facial, body wraps, and things like that. Alleviation sessions is what you saw in the commercial you just showed. That's for pain relief, muscle tension, migraines. I do a lot of stretching. I use a lot of tools because I want to get deep into your tissue. So I do not do deep tissue massages because I don't like to sweat. And and I learned how to get deep without pressure, if that makes sense. Because a lot of people, as you said, you get a deep tissue massage and you leave in pain. And it does help, but you're in pain. So, knowing anatomy and physiology and where to go and what tools to use and when can help in deep tissue. I also have silhouette sessions. That is your pre and post-op and body contouring that I do. Yes.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Okay.
Yeah.
You recently was appointed a regional director for CSL Therapy. And believe me, guys, we're going somewhere with this. What is CSL Therapy?
CSL Therapy is an organization that is cosmetic self-love, cosmetic surgery self-love. Let me say it right. And it is to bridge the gaps within surgical healthcare spaces, because in the body altering aesthetic industry, it's wild. People are doing things to people who are not licensed, who are taught from other people who aren't licensed or certified. It's a very unregulated industry. So CSL Therapy is an organization that was developed to help bridge those gaps. It incorporates surgeons, practitioners, nurses, physical therapists, everyone. So I was looking just to get more educated when it comes to post-op care, because there's so many different surgeries going on. Every time you turn around, there's a new surgery coming out, and I like to learn, and I want to know whether I can, work on someone or not, if I have to refer them somewhere else. So I contacted CSL Therapy, and I had a conversation with the founder, who I happened to be following, and I learned a lot about post-op care from her through the years. And she's a massage therapist. She's also a kinesiologist, and she's about her business, and she's very passionate about the industry. So I learned a lot from her.
So, in reference to that, because, all right, as we know, I'm sure people have been on Instagram. They have seen the ladies coming out of the airport from international travels, from getting their BLs, getting their tummy tucks. We've even seen some devastating endings happen, right?
Yes.
Post-op care. You just said it's open and it's wild. It's not regulated. So that means you can teach right now, you could teach me how to do someone's post-op recovery.
So I will say this: I could, but ethically, I would not. Because I know that it's not regulated. I know that now it's becoming more regulated, because the CSL Therapy is getting a board in every state to educate. The first rollout is education, because you do have people who are teaching courses for machines. And like in that last video that you showed of me, there was a machine behind me. That machine uses energy to stimulate your tissues. But nobody taught me. I went on and I learned, and I didn't use it on anyone. I practiced on myself, because I didn't want to harm anyone. But you have people who are doing things who don't have even a medical background, which is very scary. I've had clients come to me after coming from Miami with their bodies taped, their waist taped completely up, taped, KT taped improperly, which almost caused, them to have a medical issue. So it's things like that.
So let's be clear of what you're saying. There are right now, there are no regulations on people who can provide post-op care. You do not have to have a medical background. You do not have to have a massage therapist license. You can literally go on YouTube, and I'm exaggerating. You can go on YouTube, figure out, or go to YouTube University, get this information, start on social media and say, ladies, come to me for your post-op care. That's very dangerous. Very dangerous. And my question up here is, what are the key considerations when you choosing a post-op professional after elective surgery? And let's go back. Elective surgery. Elective surgery is considered, from my information, is a surgery that is not needed for your quality of life. It's not needed. It's I want it. Right. In our culture, the elective surgeries, the big ones are the BBLs, Brazilian butt lifts, right? Big booty Lisa. Okay. Right. Tummy tucks, because as we get older, we get the fupa, and you want it to,
you want a mommy makeover.
You want a mommy makeover. Exactly. Yeah. These are all elective surgeries. And depending on where you go, they are more affordable than other places. Right.
So that part, I've learned so much since I've been in this industry. You have surgeons who specialize in this type of surgery and who are very good at what they do. And then you have surgeons who took a weekend course and they go do the surgery at a surgery center. Yes, it's real. Yes. And it's like, just for me talking to my clients, because I do consultations and I ask questions, and that's the nurse in me that knows it's important. And I was able to pull nursing into my practice that way. So if you came to me after you had surgery, I'm not just going to lay you on the table and start working on you. I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to ask you, when did you have your surgery? What type of surgery did you have? What was done to your body after you had surgery? Did you fly home? All of these questions are important because it affects your body. It affects your healing. What did you do before you had your surgery? You understand? Who was your surgeon? Some people go to have surgery and they don't meet their surgeon until they're laying on a table about to go to sleep to have surgery. So it was just crazy to me. And this is what made me keep trying to find out more information and trying to learn. So at least when you have the surgery, you can get good care and you can heal well.
Okay. Let's talk about the top 10 tips.
Okay.
All right. What's tip number 1?
Okay. Tip number 1 is to be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself, with your foundation, where you are. Everybody wants to look good. There's nothing wrong with that. But be honest where you are. If you've been SpongeBob your whole life, what is the likelihood that you're going to have a 22-inch waist? You know what I'm saying? And, be honest with yourself. Are you healthy? You understand? If you've had high blood pressure your whole life, just because you stop doing all the things that you did to get the high blood pressure, if it's not an inherited condition, doesn't mean that you're healthy. You understand? It's things like that. So be honest with yourself where you're at.
Okay.
Yeah, the pre-surgical foundation is very important.
Honest with yourself. Yeah. Okay. You said.
Yeah, be honest with yourself.
If you've been SpongeBob all your life, don't think. That's what you said. Don't
Yeah.
think you're going to come out with this Coca-Cola body,
Right.
Coca-Cola shaped body.
I
Okay.
mean, the surgeons do a really good job, but when I say be honest with yourself, I mean, how healthy are you?
Meaning
Seriously.
diet.
Diet, health conditions, comorbidities that you may have. People are getting surgeries who shouldn't. And there are surgeons who are operating on people who shouldn't,
Mm-hmm.
who they
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be operating on. So,
And being honest with yourself, hopefully you did your research,
well,
about this surgeon. Let's go ahead. I'm
that's
not gonna. All right. Number
okay.
2.
Number two is understand the emotional and psychological implications you may have about your own appearance. And that goes along with being honest with yourself, your self esteem, and having peace with where you are before you start this journey. So if you're not at peace with, okay, I'm out of shape, I'm out of I don't have the big booty or the skinny waist that I want, but I'm all
Mm-hmm.
right with that, and I'm going to do the things that I need to do to get to where I'm ready for the surgery. A lot of people, like I said, you do have to do some clearances before you have surgery, but I don't think that it's enough time. Some people don't take the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, I've had a young lady who came to me. She, out of her own mouth, she said she looked like a watermelon with two skinny legs. But
Mm-hmm.
she said she was also an RN. She took the time. She said she took a year and she did a lot of work on herself. She went to counseling.
Mm-hmm.
She also went on a retreat.
Mm-hmm.
She did
Mm.
pre-surgical massages to get her body ready to
Mm-hmm.
receive, you know, the surgery. And then afterwards, because she went out of the country to have the surgery done, because she had multiple surgeries, she stayed for 4 weeks. So she
Would you
planned.
recommend that? That's a good thing?
Well, the multiple surgeries that this young lady had, she had her face, her chin, her arms, liposuction 360 BBL, her thighs done. That's a lot. So a lot of people think that, oh, how are you going to sleep? How are you going to
Mm-hmm.
get up? You can't sit, you can't lay flat. If you had
Uh-huh.
your stomach done, that's a lot. I would not recommend doing multiple surgeries like that at one time.
Yeah, to me, I'm hearing a diagnosis of body dysmorphia.
And that's a big one. That is a big,
Yeah.
yes.
Body dysmorphia is when no matter what you look like on the outside, no matter what people tell you, you
Yes.
just are not, you are so unhappy with your physical appearance. And that is a mental health disorder. I would think ethical doctors here in the United States, if you're diagnosed with body dysmorphia, I don't know if they will operate, but that's most of the time when you see people who have these multiple surgeries over
Right.
and over and over, and they're never satisfied.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, when you met her, what state was she in? So what did you
Well,
have to
well, when
do?
I met her, she was good because she took the time. She did
Hmm.
her work on herself and on her mental and
Hmm.
emotional state to prepare for the surgery. And she also stayed where she had the surgery done, where she got around the clock care.
Mm.
So she had her finances in order to have all of this done. So when
Okay.
she came to me, she lived in Albany, so she stopped to me to get a massage on her way home. From
Hmm.
and she knew that it was a lot, so she prepared for it.
Okay.
So she was very pleased with her results at the time. She still had a long way to go because your body is disrupted everywhere. The
Mm.
lymphatic system is disrupted from your head to your toes.
I would think a lot of bruising as well, because I see the pictures online where the ladies look like they have just been hit by a truck. I
Yeah,
mean,
the
lots of
bruising goes
bruising.
away. The bruising goes away after a couple of massages. It looks a lot worse than it is within the first 7 days.
Hmm.
Especially if they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And the bruising does go away, and they're getting the
Okay.
proper massages. Yes.
All right.
hmm
Tip number 3.
Tip number 3 is love on yourself. Um, Having love for yourself, and where you are. Like I said, this goes with 1, 2, and 3, because unhappiness, anger, um, disease all impacts your body on a cellular level. And going into a surgery in that state, it's like,
Mm,
yeah. So
yeah.
love on yourself.
Yeah, going into surgery angry, upset, you're
Yes,
releasing too many stress hormones into your body,
exactly.
and that reduces your recovery rate.
Absolutely.
Okay, so love on yourself.
Absolutely.
Very easy to say, however, not very easy to accomplish for some people,
Exactly.
especially, right? If you are having elective surgery, social media is pressure. Society
Absolutely.
is pressure. Your
Absolutely.
man can be pressure, right?
Mhm.
Um, and it, all of these things added together, it puts you at odds with loving on yourself because everything
Exactly.
you think everything is against you because you're focusing on the wrong things. So
Exactly.
loving on yourself, it's very easy for us to say that because we're there.
Hmm.
However, kind of difficult for some to get there, which that takes you back to number 2 with your psychology.
You're
Okay,
right.
go
Hmm.
ahead.
Number 4, research and understand the basics of the healing process and how that can impact you where you're at. So, if you don't know what it takes to heal yourself, if you haven't, if you've been living off of McDonald's your whole life, we'll just use that, your diet.
Mhm,
You've been eating McDonald's your whole life, and now you're okay. You go to the surgery center, they tell you the things that you need to accomplish. You need to get your BMI at a certain level, your blood pressure down. So you stop the McDonald's, and your blood pressure comes down, your BMI comes down, right? You lose some weight, your labs look good at that point. It goes back to what I said of being honest with yourself. It can take you, what, 3 months maybe, let's just say. But for 30 years, you've been eating McDonald's, unhealthy, but you're going to put your 3-month body on the table to have a
mhm.
surgery. So healing requires more than just 3 months of you eating healthy, is my point.
Okay, what I just heard you say was healing requires more than 3 months of habits. Like you really have to
Yes.
have some really healthy, good habits.
You do, because what I have seen, with a lot of young ladies after they have surgery, they start off really good. They get the good momentum, they're eating well, they're doing all the things that they're supposed to do to heal properly. But as you go on, and once they see that shape coming in, that they paid for, they go right back to the old habits that they have. So it's like, for what? So yeah, if you don't
Mm,
understand, also if you don't understand the healing process too, there's a lot of people who go get surgeries and they don't know what to expect. They don't understand remodeling. What happens, your tissues are remodeling, trauma remodeling, and that's
who's
what happens.
well, who's I would think the doctor would be responsible for telling you what to expect after this elective surgery.
Well, goes into number 5.
Okay.
Research your surgeon in your surgery center and your provider, your aftercare providers. You want to research people who can tell you these things, who are going to take the time to sit down and tell you these things, who are going to
Mm,
refer you out to, have a consultation with a psychiatrist, maybe, if you need, if they feel she has body dysmorphia, she's unrealistic, she has unrealistic goals in mind. Before I operate on her, when people have weight loss surgery, they don't just put you on the table just because you want to lose weight. They make you
mhm,
go get counseling.
mhm.
You understand? But not a lot of times, and not a lot of surgery centers do that.
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you said that because they make you go and get counseling. They get you get a psychological evaluation if it's a good
Yes.
doctor, and you have to show proof that you worked on losing weight as far as your
Yes.
diet and your physical activity. But
Right.
here's the thing. You're talking about the responsible doctor, right? Who's going to have this consultation with you. Let you meet Keva. She's going to take care of you.
Mhm.
Um, some of the girls don't have money for the responsible doctor.
Exactly. So you don't have the money to pay for the responsible doctor. I mean, I've taken care of ladies who had the money to and they thought they were going into a responsible doctor, and one young lady had an operation 9 o'clock at night. Yeah, 9 o'clock at night.
What? 9 o'clock at night Eastern time zone, which it doesn't matter. 9 o'clock is 9 o'clock in
nine
whatever
o'clock
time
at
zone.
night. 9 o'clock at night.
What was that about?
That's what they do at that surgery center. She wasn't expecting that, but that's
Mm-hmm.
what happened. And it's like once you pay for it, if you say, "Oh, I don't want it," you're not getting your money back. You got
Was
to go
she out of
through.
the country?
She was out of state. She was out of New York State,
Okay, what state?
Florida.
Oh, okay. Well, we know Florida, they got their
But I mean, it's
factories and stuff down there.
in
Yeah.
factories. You said the word factory. But there are
Okay.
a lot of surgeons who don't operate in that manner, and they won't, do certain things. So the key thing is research. Research your
Mm-hmm.
surgeon. Make sure that he's
Mm-hmm.
board certified. You
And
want to
that's on
meet your
Google. You
surgeon,
can find that on Google if he's
right?
board certified or not.
And you want to and you want to speak to the person that's going to be operating on you before he operates on you, and not right before he operates on you.
So see, that goes back to you. That goes back to the individual. Okay.
Right. Right.
Number 6.
Okay. Number 6. Let's see. Okay. Please consult with a licensed certified provider for your aftercare.
Okay.
It's very important. You want to have that set up before you go get your surgery. You want to have your appointment set up. I have a lot of ladies that come. They call me, "Oh, I just came back. Can I get in? I'm booked." What you gonna do if there's no one else around? You want to have that set up, and you also want to go to someone who knows what they're doing.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. You just said you have ladies call you and say, "Hey, I just had surgery. Can I get in?"
I had a lady call me on a Sunday afternoon. I just happened to answer, and she was looking for lymphatic drainage massage. That's what she said. And did I have any availability that day? And I said, "No, I'm closed today." And we hung up, but something told me to call her back. And I
Mm-hmm.
called her back and I started questioning her. And she was like, "I just had surgery. I just came back." It was a Sunday, Friday. "I had one massage, but I couldn't get in anywhere." So, of course, I said, "Okay, you could come tomorrow." But things
Mm-hmm.
like that. Yeah.
See, that's horrible planning. That's horrible self-care. I,
But
I
this is,
would,
it happens all the time. I
okay,
have ladies who tell me ahead of time they're going. And as we get closer to their date that they go, because, things happen, flights get changed,
mm-hmm,
and I work with them. I will work with them
mm-hmm,
and, make sure that I have their appointments available for them. So I only take 1 or 2 post-op care clients at a time for that reason.
mm-hmm.
For that reason.
Okay. Um, Drainage massage.
Lymphatic drainage massage. So when after you have cosmetic surgery, there's a duration. There's stages. So your first stage is incisional drainage. You have incisions. Sometimes they come back with drains in, Jackson Pratt drains in. And the first 7 days are usually on antibiotics, and you can massage in such a way around the incisions where the fluid will flow out of the incisions. And I'm sure you've seen that. You've,
I've
you've
seen it
seen people.
online.
Yes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it's like fat or something coming out of these
Yes.
tubes. Yeah.
Fat the tumescent fluid, because they pump fluid into your body, epinephrine and lidocaine, I believe. So there's not a lot of blood loss. So a lot of that fluid comes out for the first 7 days. And with surgery, your lymphatic system is disrupted. So massage helps to push all of the fluid where it needs to go. That's in layman's terms. So yes. So that's within the first 7 days. You have people who are reopening incisions after that, and you should never reopen someone's incisions. Yes, after
What do you
they have
mean?
had surgery, where the instrument, if they had lipo, where the instrument went in, there's certain points where those incisions are, and some people have been seen reopening those incisions to cause the drainage to happen.
Oh, you're talking about the person who's doing their post-op recovery will open up those incisions to push the fluid out.
Yes.
And you're saying you should never do that.
Well, a trained professional should do that, but there's a certain time frame that it should be done. So the first 7 days post-op, from day 1 to day 7, you're usually on antibiotics, right? And then after that, the body is going to close up those wounds because it's trying to heal. And that's why you continue to get massages in a different manner to help the fluid go to where it's supposed to go, the lymph, because you're going to swell and your tissues are going to start remodeling. Yes.
Okay. Is this the reason why you wear the faja?
Well, you wear the faja. There's different fajas that you wear for different types of surgeries.
Okay, and we'll pause on that. I'll let you go to number 7 because I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Number 7. So I recommend, and the tip that I always say is to get a few preoperative lymphatic massages before you have surgery, because lymphatic massages will help clear out any toxins that you may have, in your body, and it helps prepare the tissues to receive this surgery. So that's a tip. And
that's a good tip. That's good. Get the massages prior to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And number 8, let's see, what did I write? So usually by day 8 to 8 weeks after having surgery, that's what is called the reabsorption phase, where your body, is remodeling and I'm sorry.
Shelby. I'm with Shelby. Go ahead.
So, what was I saying?
Your tip number 8.
This is where you may have to go to a different provider, because like I do mostly post-op care within the first 7 days. And then I have ladies who stick with me, they'll come back for maintenance, and that's months down the line. And I have a lot of women who come, they say, if their surgeon said, oh, you need to get 10 massages, that's all honey is getting. And she's going about her business, which is, not always the best. But so
how many would you recommend?
I wouldn't be able to say
Or it
until
depends
I
on the
saw
body.
It depends on your body. It depends on what type of surgery that you had, and it depends on how you're healing.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense to me. Okay.
And number 9 is to see a nutritionist. See a nutritionist, because nutrition plays is a big key in healing. Eating the proper diet, eating the proper foods, drinking lots of water. You have a lot of people who are, making different teas and different things and selling things. So I recommend that you meet with a nutritionist, see where you're at on a nutritional level, so you know what your body needs. When you get your blood work done, take it to the nutritionist, talk to the nutritionist. She can tell you what supplements you should take that will help your body if you need it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tip number 10.
Tip number 10 is the faja.
Okay.
Most surgery centers will give you a stage 1 faja.
Oh.
There's different stages of fajas. There's different
Mhm.
types of fajas depending on what type of surgery you had. So you want to know what type of faja you need to have, how long you need to wear it,
Oh
where
my,
you're going to get
listen.
it from.
The fajas, for one, they can be expensive. For
They
one,
are.
this is the part that I don't understand. Okay.
Hmm.
I have not had any elective surgery, but I do have me some fajas.
Oh
Okay.
yes.
I love
Oh
them.
yes.
Love them.
Yes.
It's hard for me to get in one outside of surgery. Okay. And once you're in it, you're in it, right?
Absolutely.
How do they get in it? Do they put the ladies in it prior to them waking up from surgery? Or do
That
they?
part,
Because I'm like, how do they get in these
they help you get in
fajas?
this. They help you get in the faja. So after you have surgery, you're in the stage 1, and the stage 1 is not that snatch your life and your edges. That's like a
Okay.
stage 2 and stage 3.
Okay.
So the stage 1, you're in for a while until you're not draining anymore, um,
Mhm.
and not in so much pain. I mean, the pain is there for a while after the numbness wears off, but
Mm.
yeah, when you get into the remodeling phase of your
Mhm.
healing, that's
Mhm.
when you want to be in a good stage 2
Okay.
faja. That's the one that's
How
huh
many levels of fajas are there?
3. Stage
3.
1,
Mhm.
stage 2, and stage
Mhm.
2 is usually day 8 or so to week 8.
Mhm.
And then you can, if you don't want to go any further with the compression life, you can stick with your stage 2, or you get a nice stage 3.
What's a
And
stage 3? What's the difference?
the compression, the
Okay.
compression is different. The compression is different.
Meaning it gets you more snatched?
It helps maintain your snatchage, the
Okay.
snatchage of
Alexa,
it all.
order me a stage 3 faja, please. That's what I needed to know. All right. You know what? I'm hearing this, okay,
Hmm.
because we went down 10 tips. Being honest with yourself, right?
Hmm.
In reference to who you are. Stage 2, the psychology of it, what's going on with your emotional and mental health. And I would
Yes.
think that is why are you getting, this surgery? Are you getting it for
Hmm.
you? Are you getting it for them? Are you getting it for him? Okay.
Right.
Stage 3, I'm sorry, tip number 3, love on yourself.
Hmm.
Stage 4, research. Okay.
Yes.
Research, in reference to the surgery. Stage 5, research your surgeon, which is extremely important. I keep saying stages. I'm thinking about these fajas. Tip number 6,
Hmm.
the correct licensed practitioner for your aftercare.
Hmm.
Tip number 7, prior to the massages, get some massages, see
Yes.
what that feels like. Um, Tip number 8, I think you were saying about day 8 or so, your body starts to adjust and heal, and those wounds should not be opened up. Tip number 9, your nutrition, eat healthy, drink water, put the good stuff in your body.
Yes.
Um, tip, tip
And no
number 10,
smoking. And no smoking.
I would think no smoking or drinking,
Well, you'd be
it,
surprised.
oh, I'm not at this point.
Mm-mm.
And tip number 2, the faja, the stage of your faja. Why do
Yes.
you think, what is the big thing? Because I have my theory on why I think someone would not do appropriate aftercare. My theory is, and
Hmm.
thinking is, it's the money.
Some women, it's the money.
Mhm.
Some women are impatient. They want the results now. And
Mm,
once you get to a certain stage and you feel good, you're comfortable, you can
mhm,
walk around a little for a couple hours without the faja. You don't get that reverberation. You're good. and then they swell up, then they panic, and then they come back. Oh, I need a massage. I need a massage. It happens all the time. But
Wait, what do you mean they swell up?
because your body, it takes up to a year for your body to heal. I mean, you're not going to always be swollen, but like when you break your leg, how long does it take for that to heal? You know what I mean?
Right. Now that's what I did here. Okay.
Mhm.
Now I did a little consultation in my day for a tummy tuck. Okay.
Okay.
Didn't happen. Lafayette was like, we can do a little bit something more with that money, and why don't you go on and work out?
Exactly.
Right. And actually, the surgeon said it will take up to a year.
Yeah.
And prior to, he highly encouraged nutrition and diet, right? And exercise prior to getting the surgery. So after the surgery, this is just normal everyday life for you.
Mhm.
Okay. So a year.
Up to a year.
Up
Until you
to a year.
feel like yourself again, because your body is going through changes and remodeling. I keep saying the word remodeling. It's going to feel different and at certain stages. You know, you might go through 3 weeks where you don't have any swelling, and then something happens and you're going to swell up, or you're going to stiffen up. You're not going to be able to move. Who knows? So yeah.
When I see online on Instagram and on social media, and I see some of the girls getting a post-op care, it looks painful. It does not look fun. Now, don't get me wrong, they just came, it's like they're probably within that first 8 days because
Yeah.
they're getting drained or what have you. It does not look like a good time at all.
Well, actually, the first 7 days, you have a lot of numbing. You know, I've had some women say they don't really feel much because you still have, the
Okay.
anesthesia. So it's usually after those 8
Mhm.
days when they come and get massages. And that's where I learned when women leave me, they feel great. Just like I said, they feel like they're walking on a cloud because I take my time with them. I'm gentle and I massage them, and usually when you start massaging, if you're doing it properly, the endorphins kick in and all those healing properties kick in, and it has an anesthesia effect on your
Yeah.
body. So
Okay.
yeah. And
Okay.
a lot of people, when they massage, I have people laying down. I want you to be comfortable. I don't want you to be stressed and tense, because it's contraindicated. If
Okay.
you tense up, there's no reason, it's not going to help you. So I need you
Okay.
to be relaxed and calm. So that's how I massage.
So, ladies and gentlemen, did you know that after getting an elective surgery, when you go do your post-op care, did you all know that the post-op professional was not a regulated industry?
Mm,
Because when Keva, when me and you had that conversation, when you first told me that, that really just blew my mind that it was not a regulated industry. And I want to know, and this is actually one of the main reasons why we're having this conversation on this platform, for education, for
right.
people to know. And I mean, I didn't know. Just because I didn't know don't mean everybody else didn't know. They probably knew that. I just
Hmm.
didn't know that it's not a regulated industry. It's extremely important to do research on the person you're going to be doing, who's going to be doing your post-op recovery
Right.
with. This is also why they have started, what is the
CSL therapy for the body altering aesthetic industry, to get regulation, to educate people, to certify people, to get licensed. So there's the nomenclature, So for instance, lymphatic drainage massage, that's it's lymphatic massages. It's not the same thing. You understand? So that's what it was being called, because I don't know why, but
Mhm.
that's not what it is. It's totally different. So in
Okay.
order to have a surgeon know that, okay, this is beneficial, it is beneficial for your body for healing. the types of massages that are being done is very beneficial for healing purposes. But if you're not doing it properly, you can hurt someone. You can cause seromas. There's so many different things that can happen when people are practicing and don't know what they're doing.
So, in reference to them regulating the industry, what does
Mhm.
that look like?
Well, from what I'm learning, because I just came on board at the end of April, we're rolling out education. Getting people who are practicing, getting them properly educated. Number one, there's licensing and things like that. In June, there is a conference where you can get licensed to be an iMedic. I don't want
What is an
to.
iMedic?
Let me see. Trained in iMedic. Let me see. I have my book right here. Give me 1 second. I don't want to say it wrong. Okay. So just let me read a couple of things. CSL Therapy is an organization that provides services, benefits, and resources to the general public, as well as its internal and external health professionals. So they are to approve and qualify trainers, people who want to train people to provide the care, review and approve courses, write exams for official licensing, enforce protocols, issue licenses,
For
ensure client,
people, for people like
ensure,
you or
yes,
people, okay.
yes, ensure client advocacy, code enforce state board regulations, establish health and safety standards, inspect facilities for site approval, random audit checks, client and surgeon advocacy, standard of care for post-operative support. So
Because right now, none of that is happening at
none of,
all.
well,
Literally,
no,
you can open
some
it
of
up.
it is, a lot of it is happening. There's a lot happening behind the scenes. There are people who are licensed to give classes. There's people who have schools and they're teaching the proper, education. I'm trying to find, I want to say what the iMedic is. I don't know if I have it right here with me, but let me see. Where is it? Modalities and scopes of practice. This is just all about the bureau. I'm sorry.
No problem. So if a person, myself or what have you, wanted
Here
to,
it
if
is.
I'm getting an elective surgery and you are not in my peripheral, I don't know you, right?
Okay.
How do I find the appropriate post-op professional?
Well, most people go online or word of mouth. Um, I would ask you to go to csltherapy.org and you
Okay.
can be pointed to a licensed provider in your area because they're out there.
What if I don't know about, because right today people are just hearing that. What
Mhm.
questions would I ask?
Normally, a lot of the surgery centers have providers, and
Hmm.
they a lot of surgeons are now, knowing that massages are, the aftercare is very important, of course. So a lot of the surgery centers can point you in the direction of good providers. So that is
Okay.
one way. They usually will. But
So trust your,
also,
okay, trust the
but
facility.
that's why you have to do your research
Hmm.
on the surgery center and knowing that the surgeon, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense if we're going to the appropriate hospital down the street. But if we're, trying to
Right.
cut corners, then I'm flying to wherever and I'm flying back on Delta, sitting with my butt up in the air. It's like, how do I make sure to find the appropriate, because none of my girlfriends ain't never got, BBLs or anything, so they can't refer me to anyone.
Right.
How do I know? I mean, me myself, I'm a researcher, right?
Right.
However,
But not
everyone
everybody
is
is.
everyone is
Right.
not a researcher. And it's like, what is it that they need to really ask to know if they are? And I would think, and I'm going to assume,
Hmm.
okay, that if you are investing this money in your body, you're going to invest the time in making sure you have the appropriate post-op care. But something tells me if you're going out of the country to get these surgeries, they may not be having that full conversation, or there may be a language barrier in reference to what you
Exactly.
have to do in reference to post-op care.
Yes, that happens a lot. That happens a lot when people go, even going to Miami. You know, a lot of the ladies who provide the care and have the recovery houses, and you want to make sure your recovery house, you know, knows what they're doing. And it's there is no way unless, you know, someone, or this is
Mhm,
why CSL Therapy again is trying to regulate and organize and, you know, get this together, so across the board you can say, oh, I'm going to Brown Girls
mhm,
Surgery Center.
mhm,
Brown Girls can then refer you to, oh, in Arizona we have this person, or in California we have that person. So this
mhm.
is the importance of this board. This is importance not just for the board, but this is so important because so many people go thinking that they're doing their due diligence and researching and go have this surgery. I just had a client who went to a recovery center and they had her sleeping in a lawn chair, you know, and it wasn't comfortable, and there was a language barrier. So it's things like
Mm,
that. So this is
mm.
why, you know, talking about it and asking questions and knowing the right questions to ask is
No, that
important.
part, knowing the right
Knowing the right
questions to
questions to
ask.
ask. You know, hindsight
Okay.
is 2020, but it doesn't help you when you're in DR and you don't know where to go. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and no
So
one speaks your language but
exactly.
money.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you guys have any questions related to this situation with the post-op recovery? If you do, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Kiva, thank you very much. So
Thank you.
because we're not going anywhere yet, you
Hmm.
are an official member of Brown Girls Do Network. How is
Yes.
Brown Girls Do Network working for you?
Oh, Brown Girls Do Network is working for me because I am able to see that all of us are going through the same thing, being entrepreneurs, being mothers, having multiple roles,
Mm,
and it's showing me how to navigate. You know, I have other women to talk to, you know,
mhm,
when I get stuck on something, you know.
mhm.
So that's how it's working for me. It's a
Uh,
community. I'm grateful to be a part of, you know, to be a part of it. If there's something that I don't know, I can go into our WhatsApp group and ask a question. Everybody, you know, is will give you an answer. If they don't know, let me find out. I'm gonna ask
mhm.
this one. So that for me, that's how it's working for me.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Shelby said, we love you,
Oh,
Kiva.
thank you,
Listen,
Shelby.
Shelby, you got to schedule. Y'all got to schedule. I'm telling you, make sure you follow her.
Thank
And
you.
definitely, it is an experience. Before we end, I would like to ask you,
Okay.
what advice would you share with the young lady walking around in your shoes up? But before you do that, I think we have a question. Wait, post
Okay.
care is vital in your plastic surgery journey. Kiva is the best. Yes, she is.
Oh,
Yes, she
thank you.
is.
Rain.
All right. So, yeah, what advice? Because when we first started this conversation, you
Mhm,
expressed that you're an LPN. You went
mhm.
to school to get a massage therapy license.
Yes.
We know that you can have a high school diploma or GED, which I'm
Mhm.
actually happy to hear that. I'm happy
Yeah.
to hear that. Um, what advice would you give a young lady who's actually looking for her thing to do, especially trying to be a massage therapy? Because I believe that
Mhm.
being a massage therapist is not for everyone, right? I
No.
can't be a massage therapist. Lafayette, no, I'll pay for you to get a massage, but I can't, I'm not doing that. Okay.
Okay.
It's not for everyone. So what would you say to someone who is on the fence? Like, do I want to do it? Don't I want to do it? Like, what would you say to that young lady right now?
I would definitely say that you have to have a passion for it. It's not. it's not an easy thing to do, to be in an intimate space with someone.
Mhm.
I would definitely tell a person to research,
Mm.
research, research. That's it. I saw a massage therapist work on someone, and that's what made me want to provide that type of care, and to be able to hold space for a person.
Mhm.
It's more than, it's not about you, the provider. It's about the person that's on the table. So
Mm.
that's what I would say. I would say research, and you really have to have a passion for it.
Okay. Yeah, we want you to have a passion if you're going to be giving our massages. Do you massage men?
Well, I do massage men,
Mhm.
not random men. It has to be someone that I know.
Ah.
I and I know that that sounds weird, but because I'm a solopreneur and where
Mhm.
my office is located, it's just, I don't want to be in somewhere with a strange man
Mhm.
in that intimate space. So it
Yeah.
definitely has to be someone. I have massaged a few of my clients' husbands, no
Okay.
problems, no issues. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do you come out? Because some not weird at all. Some massage therapists, they travel. Do you do
I
that?
have. I
Okay.
don't anymore. I don't, now I work full time. I have done parties,
Mhm.
I traveled with the table and got all the tools, and I had my daughter help me, but
Mhm.
not so much anymore. It would have to
Okay.
be, for someone that
Mhm.
I really know, you know.
Mhm. Okay. Issa just said, good to know about the men's thing. She's scheduling Matt for a massage for Father's Day. Let
No
me have you up
problem.
and schedule Lafayette's massage before she get in contact with you for Matt and take the space.
I
Oh
appreciate you, ladies.
man. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, any other questions at all? I feel like I had another question for you, Kiva, but I'm just not thinking of it right now. It was something
Okay.
that you said that I wanted to ask. Oh, before we go, please follow Kiva. Can you please let us know about your products that
Oh,
you do sell?
so I started with the products first. I make massage oils, I make body butters, I make scrubs, and I sell African African cloths for exfoliation. And I
Mm,
make products based on the seasons and for different the different sessions that I have.
okay. All right. And where can we find your products?
You can find my products on my website
And
at,
can you
I'm
share
sorry,
your
www.infiniteserenityservices.com.
Thank you
Yes.
very much, Kiva. Before we let you go for the evening, is there anything you would like to share with the audience before you go that you have not shared?
I would just like to say I do more than post-op care, as we spoke about before. If you're looking for relaxation, if you want to de-stress,
Mm,
you
yes.
can go on my website and contact me and book a massage. And I thank you so
Yes.
much, Vanessa, for having me.
You are more than welcome. Ladies, we Brown Girls Do Network, we're having our Empower Her Expo,
Mhm.
October 12th. Kiva will be actually one of our workshop hosts. She will be talking about this topic and many other topics. So if you have not, and I know we are doing a soft rollout for our Empower Her Expo.
Mhm.
However, Kiva will be there so you can get up close and personal and ask all those questions that you may have. It is later down the line. However, I just wanted to throw that out there. Kiva, thank you very much for coming on our Brown Girls Do Network live series. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for being a part of Brown Girls Do Network. And I look forward to having more conversations. I already know once we get off this live, I'm going to say that was it. And I'm going to say no more drinking wine during the live. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Keva.
Thank you.
And what
Thank you.
before I go, okay, we have more hand claps. Thank you very much, Keva. And we will talk with you soon. And let's go ahead and get the correct outro together.